Hello everyone, this is Dr. Katie Lynch, the chair of the Sam Draper Honors Program, and I'm going to tell you about the Cambridge Study Abroad program, which will be running in July and August of 2022. Here's our agenda for our info session today. We'll do a quick overview of the Cambridge Study Abroad program, followed by some information about the Sam Draper Award, which is available to students who are going to Cambridge and will be completing the honors program, meaning that you have taken at least 8 honors courses, that you'll be achieving a 3.5 GPA or higher, and of course that you will be doing the study abroad requirement that is a feature of honors designation. Then we'll talk about what happens at Cambridge and your responsibilities as a student there. We'll also discuss the Cambridge website, which we can go and look at, and there will be a link provided in the slides. We'll talk about pricing and deadlines, and then we'll talk about some cautions and caveats that COVID-19 has unfortunately made relevant to us today. Finally, you'll leave with a to-do list. So let's think about what the program is like from sort of the 30,000 foot perspective. First of all, what you're going to do is attend Cambridge's International Summer Program for 2 weeks, either in July or in early August of this year. Over those 2 weeks, you will take 4 classes taught by faculty who either teach at Cambridge or other prestigious institutions in the United Kingdom. Those classes can either be in science, literature, or history, but you must commit to one field. So you can either take 4 classes in science, 4 classes in literature, or 4 classes in history. This trip is not chaperoned, so it's important to note that you will travel to and from England independently. However, once you are in Cambridge, you will have the support of the Cambridge Institute for Continuing Education and their International Summer Program. There are wonderful people there who will be able to support you. An RCC professor will supervise your work, either Professor Safai, who is working with the science students, or Dr. Lynch, me, working with our literature and history students. After you complete all of your requirements, you will receive 4 credits, and that counts as an honors course. This, if you are on an honors track, will fit into your applied learning requirement. If you are not in an honors track, then you will just add this course into your unrestricted electives category. If you are on the business track and you are required to take an internship, we can do a course substitution for this class so that instead of your internship, you are taking one of these Cambridge courses, either literature, science, or history. And you do not have to take a course or a set of courses that's relevant to your degree. So for example, if you are a humanities and social science student, but you would like to take science courses at Cambridge, that is perfectly acceptable. Finally, please note that you are bound by the RCC Code of Conduct, so please do familiarize yourself with that. Let's talk a little bit about some of the financial awards that are available to you. The person who founded the honors program, Dr. Sam Draper, really believed in Cambridge, and he wanted to make it more possible for students to attend. We know that this program is very expensive, and so if you are going to complete the honors program, if you're going to take those 8 honors courses, if you're doing really well, then you will be eligible for a partial scholarship. Usually that scholarship varies from about $800 to $1,500, depending on the performance of the fund, we use the interest from that fund, and the number of attendees in a given year. Now, please note that when you pay your money to Cambridge, when you pay us the money that is due, you are not paying for airfare. Your airfare is paid for separately. So generally what students do is they use this scholarship to either completely or partially fund their airfare. Sometimes there will be a little bit of money left over to just put toward other things, but that's usually how it goes. Recipients have to pledge to complete the honors program and make sure that you're not taking our money and then not finishing the program, because that's a stipulation of the money itself. And there is a separate application for this award, so please keep an eye out. If you want this money, if you want to apply for it, you need to fill out 2 applications, one for the Cambridge program and one for this award. When you're at Cambridge, you're going to check in on a Sunday and you're going to leave 2 Saturdays later. So for example, these are your 3 options for this summer: July 10th to the 23rd, July 17th to the 30th, or July 24th to August 6th. You should make arrangements to fly out of New York City on Saturday afternoon or evening, arriving at London Heathrow Sunday morning, and then you'll take a bus from the airport to Cambridge. You will be living in Selwyn College at Cambridge. You're going to have your own room, but you will be sharing a bathroom with another person. If you'd like your own bathroom, you can have that, but you need to pay an extra $175, give or take, based on the currency exchange rate. Right now, it's around 176 actually, but yesterday it was around 174, so right now we're rounding to around 175. You will receive 2 meals per day in the dining hall, breakfast and dinner. Lunch or a snack is on your own. Please note that Cambridge can accommodate food allergies and other dining needs, so if you keep kosher, if you are gluten-free, that can all be accommodated. In terms of pricing, the price of Cambridge 2022 is $5,068. This figure does not include airfare. It does not include the cost of the bus from Heathrow to Cambridge. But it does include the following: your RCC tuition for a 4-credit course, and you don't have to pay any fees because you are not taking that class at RCC. Also, that figure includes Cambridge tuition, so the cost of your Cambridge classes, your room for almost 2 weeks, and 2 meals per day. If you decide that yes, you want to take advantage of our Cambridge program, an $800 deposit is due with your application, and your final payment is due in March. We're about to see all of those deadlines in a few minutes. If you, again, would like to have your own bathroom, the cost will be higher. We know that's an extra $175 or so. In terms of refunding your money, we can only refund your money before we send it to Cambridge. Once your money has been sent to Cambridge, it is non-refundable. So let's say that you go ahead and put down your $800 deposit, but then in late March, you decide, no, you do not want to go to Cambridge. We can give you that $800 back, but once you have paid the full price of Cambridge, and we have sent that whole packet of money to Cambridge, we cannot pay you back. So essentially, the full cost will be non-refundable after April 1st. Now, if Cambridge tells us that they can issue a full or partial refund, we will issue that to you. But right now, we have heard nothing from Cambridge about their cancellation policy, despite having asked several times. So as soon as I have that information, I will make sure you have it. I'll send it in an email to all honors students. But right now, I'm assuming that once we've paid Cambridge, the money is gone. So that's why you need to be extra careful. You'll need to basically make a decision by April 1st about whether you really want to do this. Before that time, we can refund your deposit for sure. Let's talk about your student responsibility. So what you need to do both during and after Cambridge. First, you need to make sure you complete your Cambridge application, and there are associated forms that I will be sending out to you. Also, make sure you have insurance that will cover you when traveling abroad. Meet all payment deadlines. They'll be clearly spelled out on the next slide. Meet with me or with Professor Safai at least once to discuss your courses and the readings that you need to do. You'll need to do some readings, and you'll get a list of the readings required before you leave for Cambridge. And then at Cambridge, the only thing you need to do, aside from attending all of your classes and the associated lectures, is write 1 reaction paper each week. And a reaction paper is very short, about 2 pages. It's very informal. You're telling us how things are going, how your classes are, what you might be thinking about for your research paper. And then when you return, you're going to write that big 10-page research paper, and that will be the primary grade for your course, okay? So you'll be graded slightly on the reaction papers on having done them, but most of the grade for the course comes from that big research paper. And of course, Professor Safai and I are happy to help you with that. By the time you are attending Cambridge, you will at least have taken English 103 and 104, so you should be well prepared to write a lengthy research paper. Now, it is extra important that in Cambridge you need to attend all of the classes and the plenary lectures, meaning lectures of the whole group. Plenus means the whole. And you'll receive a certificate of completion. If you do not receive that certificate of completion, if you skip too many classes, you will fail the course. And the only way to make up an F for a Cambridge course is to go back to Cambridge and retake, right, this experience. We can't offer you another way to make it up. So please be sure that you are promptly attending your classes and lectures. Let's talk about those deadlines. The first deadline is the study abroad application and the $800 deposit. Now, if you decide that you also want to apply for the Sam Draper Award, the deadline is the same. Both of those deadlines are Friday, February 18th, in room 1226 by 3 p.m. Your check needs to be made out to the RCC Association, okay? So Friday, February 18th, the Cambridge application and if you're applying for it, the Sam Draper Award application. If you're applying for the award, we will interview you, and we'll interview you on the 22nd or the 23rd. You'll get to choose which day works for you. Once you've turned in your application, you'll register as soon as possible with Carol Coiro once we've processed it. Okay, so mostly that will take place, the 22nd, the week of the 22nd. Your final payment, which is non-refundable, is due in room 1226 we're actually going to change this, and I'll let you know in the email, but this is actually going to be the end of March and early April. So we're going to do April 1st there, okay? And travel documents are also due during that time. So April 1st is when the final payment, which is non-refundable, is due. And when you receive these slides, I'll have made that correction. I apologize. We will have a pre-departure meeting in early June to go over all of the, any questions that you have or concerns. We're going to give you plenty of information about how to get from London Heathrow to Cambridge, etc. Just some cautions and caveats in this age of COVID for a little bit of alliteration. There is a lot that we don't know. As I mentioned, we do not know Cambridge's cancellation policy. We do not know their refund policy. So right now we are assuming that when you give us your final payment, your money is gone, okay? That we have to then pay. As soon as we pay Cambridge, we do not know if we can get any of your money back. Of course, if I get new information about that, I will share it with you right away. We also do not know how COVID-related travel policies might affect the Summer Institute. At any point, things could change. We've all learned that from being in this pandemic. So, please think carefully about whether this is the right time for you to be traveling abroad. Of course, we will do everything we can to support you. But it's really, important to acknowledge that traveling internationally during a pandemic is an exercise in flexibility and uncertainty. So keep that in mind. We are hopeful, right? We are hopeful that Omicron is the last worst variant, is the last sort of bad variant. We are hopeful that things will look a lot better by the summer, that it will be much easier to travel than it has been, but we can't say anything for sure, okay? Please do your research and ask us for help, and we'll do our best to help you. Now, if all of this looks good to you, and I hope it does, this is an incredible experience. I have worked with so many students who have come back from this experience feeling like their life has been changed. And I want that for you. I want that transformative experience for you. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to read up on the program on the Cambridge Summer Institute website, and that will be coming to you in an email, and there's will be a link in this slide. Then make sure you talk with your family, especially if you need their financial support. If you plan to attend right now, please check your passport. If your passport is not up to date, renew it, okay? Don't wait. One of the worst possible things that could happen to you is if your passport is expired, you will not be able to fly across the ocean, okay? So please do not wait to check on that. Make sure you turn in your applications on time. We won't accept late ones, okay? Meet with your Cambridge faculty member before March 1st to talk about the courses that you're interested in, and make arrangements if you want to and are able to for excursions or extra travel while in Europe. We've had students go to Ireland before and after Cambridge to see family. We've had students travel to Paris and to Rome. You can tack on a vacation if you want, either before or after this experience. That's entirely up to you, okay? Now, if you have questions, you are welcome to email me. You are welcome to email the honors account. I'm happy to help you, and I wish you all the best as you make this decision. I really hope you're able to go, and I look forward to answering any of the questions that you have. Thanks very much.